Good afternoon. I just wanted to show another pip deck, kind of stuck inside with the snow and the rain and a treadmill. It's a little board, and I want to look at a deck that I should have been able to buy way back in 1973, but didn't know about it. 73 would have been the year I graduated from high school. My goodness. Memories of sports and girls, or let me rephrase that, thinking of girls. Not actually finding many. But here's the box it comes in. This is called Tarot of the Witches by Fergus. Is that right? It's a strange font. Fergus Hall. I believe he was Scotland. I believe this is US Games. Yep, on the side there. And it says made in Italy. And they do have a nice feel for such a simple deck. Sometimes it's these odd ones that are cheap, unavailable. Not, they're not gonna be, no one's gonna say stunning artwork, I don't think. But the feel of these cards is great. Let's see the card here. Put the box out of the way. It's just a tuck box. Oh, in addition to the tuck box, whoops, I did get the book separately. It says Stuart Kaplin there. I think it's 1973 as well. 1973, and all this mention about being in the about it originally being called the James Bond 007 tarot book. I don't know if that was true of the deck. I guess it was in the movie or a movie. I don't recall. Yep, so he was born in Scotland. That's the artist, Fergus Hall, or the creator, paintings, it says. So it's just a little book, pretty much echoes the other book, but something I'll read in a second. It's different about it. So I guess they changed their mind a little bit, but it's not a very big book. But here's the Fool card, and I'm comparing it to a regular poker card there in the middle, on the top. So I get rid of that once you can see it. Get rid of that. There's the Fool card compared to what I was calling I'm a standard US Games tarot card, but is not necessarily true. When I made that card, I should have made one that said I'm a standard Low Scarabeo tarot card, because those are consistent. These are not. And I get that out of there. That's what the back looks like. The way it used to be, kind of boring. But that's the Fool, headed differently to the right, which in a lot of cases, well, I don't know if it's a lot, but sometimes that's a reference to the future. To our left over here would be the past, the middle's the present, and the right's to the future, typically, sometimes. I don't think that's like a set rule. There's two extra cards here. As you can see, they have that feel that's like Kelly's Truth and Story, Lenormand, where they're soft and a little slippery, but easy to shuffle because of that strange size. Does it say anything about? No, it doesn't say it on there. But let's put that. Oh, is that a moon? Look at that. Sun and a moon with something hooking it. Sorry. Still don't want to focus, do you? Or I'm not able to focus, one of those. So there's the trumps. 3 rows of 7. Let you look at that while I read to you this bizarre opening paragraph in this little book, also dated 1973. Appears to have, says revised 2001 by Stuart Kaplin. Ooh, here comes the mail. Tarot and Witchcraft. So I'll read that first paragraph. I'll hold it there. Maybe you can read it. Maybe not. I don't think so. It says, witchcraft is the practice of natural and supernatural acts, including evil power. In ancient times, the supernatural power of a witch was not always evil, but often was used for the power of prophecy. Okay. One of the most famous ancient witches was the Witch of Endon, or Endon, Endon, whatever, who lived in Palestine. Oh my gosh, now the Bible. The Bible tells us that Saul, the first king of the Hebrews, consulted her before the battle with the Philistines. 1 Samuel chapter 28, verse 7. Now, when have you ever seen that? I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying it's unusual. Bible, witchcraft, tarot. All in one paragraph. Wow. That's all I can say is wow. But here they're laid out in the 3 rows of 7 like I usually do. 1, to fit it in the camera, and 2, it also represents some people's thinking that this would be this row here. You know, you're going through the fool's journey here. He would be, let's just act it out. He would be going through this as his life proceeds. And this row up here would be, what is it, the soul of the appetite, or just say appetites, desires. This would be soul of will, or just say wills, like you're starting to conquer your desires and appetites, kind of, sort of. And the last row, really up to judgment, would be reason, soul of reason, I think they call it. But I don't know about all that. I just know that that's one of the reasons I lay them out with this way, in addition to the fact they fit in the camera. So here comes our first, and this is a pip deck, so I guess this qualifies as March of the Pips 2018. This is coins, I think, not called pinnacles, but coins. Let's put that there. And one unusual thing, since I got a hold of this one, if you notice, in this corner, the Roman numeral gets repeated, and then it gets repeated here, but it's repeated in a way that you could read it, which I found a little odd. And if you've noticed so far, even in the trumps, the colors really are bright and pop out. Over there on the screen is jumping off. Yet there's not a lot here in terms of artwork and symbols exactly. So, you know, it's, if we were going to do your first tarot deck, something like this would be the way to go. I mean, look at how simple even the court cards are. I mean, I think it's all there if you read with this and use it, but it's definitely dialed down compared to a lot of decks now. Those are the cups. Very simple. I don't think those are the standard for a Marseille or typical pip decks, how the cups are laid out. Well, I guess there isn't a standard. But typically you don't see them like this. One looks like a pastel version of one of those barbershop poles. This suit is the batons, and it's got that bizarreness you see sometimes where a 4 isn't an IV, and a 4 and a 9 isn't an IX. It's got, you know, like you were carving it in rock and you just got tired of carving V's and X's. So that was the batons. Here comes the swords, last but not least. Very red. Wow, look at that screen. Let's see what it looks like with the super bright light. Whoa, that's overkill. Because the sun's out a little bit. So that was a quick show of the Tarot of the Witches. In terms of shuffling and handling, these are great. So with that, I will say peace.